to our third and final topic.
I gotta calm down.
David, what are we talking about for our last topic?
This is gonna be depressing.
Great. We just had such an uplifting moment.
I mean,
That's why we saved this one for the middle. The last one for the middle.
so we're kind of combining two ideas here.
Yeah.
We're combining just sort of I want to say like not favorable consumer I guess things that are happening and game pricing, because right now a lot of talk is going on about indie game prices. Have you seen all this yet? A lot of people, because I wanted to talk. You mentioning game prices reminded me of this, because this has been happening in like the past week.
So do we want the main topic to be game prices?
I think
and then
so.
subcategory what you were going to
Yeah,
talk about?
I
Okay,
feel like,
all right.
because I feel like there's a bunch of, right now there's a lot of shady stuff going on with games, and I think it kind of ties into game prices.
Okay, so we'll kick it off with the game prices.
We'll kick off with the game
then...
prices. We'll talk about that, and then we'll talk about the shady stuff that I think developers are doing to make up for that. Because the thing is that you have to realize is the video game industry is one of those industries that hasn't really been affected by inflation.
Yeah.
Okay. Prices of games 20 years ago were $60. Games nowadays are still $60. Okay. And most prices on everything else has gone up. So like if we're going to count inflation and all that, I'm just ballparking off the top of my head, we really should be paying about $75, maybe $80 for these games. If it stayed on the current like inflation trends that have happened over
Now, when you say
decades.
inflation, are you saying the U.S. dollar?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I'm talking the U.S. dollar.
Okay.
I know like in other countries like Australia, games are already like 100,
there's like
120 U.S. or not U.S. dollars, but like 120
I think like
Australian
when Tony Hawk
bucks.
Pro Skater 5 came out, it was like an $80 game.
Well, I know
in
I know a
Australia.
$60 game here is like double that in Australia. It's like over $100 in Australian dollars. I don't know how the inflation
Australian
rate.
money.
I don't know how
That monopoly
how-
money
yeah.
you call the
We'll call
currency.
it Outback money.
So like
Outback money.
Outback bucks.
Outback bucks, yeah.
NATO, put in the comment section below what you guys call your stuff.
I'm not trying to like dig on Australia. Or anything
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that, but I know, I
either.
know I know when people complain about video game prices, I know a lot of it comes from Australia.
Oh, yeah.
And from Brazil, because their games in those two countries are.
Isn't
they're
it like
super
import
expensive.
rates on Brazil?
I think
is, like,
Brazil's
really
more
bad.
import rates, yeah. But I know with Australia has something to do with just the inflation.
Mm-hmm.
But that hasn't really hit us, and so these games you have to I understand that these games that they're spending, hundreds of millions of dollars. Like we'll use GTA, just GTA, because we have like the best stats, I guess, for that. They spent like what? Between $300 and $400 million
It's something ridiculous
on
yeah.
GTA,
and then they made it all back within
and they made it
less
all
than 5 hours.
Yeah, but you have to realize that's as much as that's like more money that's spent on movies.
Yeah, you want me to look up like?
Yeah, go for it. Yeah.
I'll look up Avengers.
Yeah, just
so
look
Avengers
up,
and GTA.
Yeah, look at the first Avengers, because that came out around when GTA did, right? GTA 5, the first Avengers movie, I think. Just kind of compare their budgets. But yeah, it's one of those things that I think because video games haven't really gone up in price with everything else, is why they're doing these kind of.
So Avengers,
the very first one,
estimated budget was $220 million.
Okay.
U.S.
dollars.
Yes. Now I'm gonna look up GTA.
Okay.
But go on.
And so I think that's where you see all of these. I don't want to say shady business practices, but money grabbing business practices, which is what I was wanting to talk about. That's going on. Like you mentioned, the Shadow of War single player microtransactions. And for me, it was like just this week, as of recording. I know it's going to come out later in the month, but when we recorded this is the week Madden 18 gets launched, and I thought it was very shady that on Tuesdays are normally when the new games come out, unless you're Nintendo. Nintendo always does Friday releases.
Okay, so going back to this, sorry to interrupt again.
That's fine.
So, like I said, Avengers, $220 million, right?
Yeah.
It said the art director, Aaron Garbett, placed the sum of the astonishing roughly $265 million. So $265 million to make GTA, $220 million to make Avengers.
Yeah, and you got to realize that like these games are still only costing us $60.
Yeah.
And you think about it, it's because games didn't cost that much back when we were still paying $60 for them. Like, do you think you could do a quick search and look up Mario 64?
Okay.
That game just turned, is over 2 decades old. And this was back as, this was a $60 game when it came out. But it also goes into, I think, to make up for those costs, because for that money they're losing from not dealing with the inflation rates. That's why we're seeing a lot more of these so-called money grabbing practices.
Oh, actually, so this is Super Mario Brothers 3.
Yeah.
Somebody on GameFAQs did in 1980. If the game cost $59.99 to $69.99, that would be to now $170 to $198 in 2013's money.
Yeah.
Look up the inflation calculator.
Yeah.
So there you go. I don't know about 64, but that pretty much explains that question right there.
Yeah. So that's I think is why we're seeing a lot more of these microtransactions.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah. That's why I think. Yeah. That's why because they're like I said, they're one of the few industries that just haven't kept up with it, because everybody just expects them to be at that price point, which I gotta say, that's good for them.
Yeah.
That's why when I see all these microtransactions in games, I personally don't get upset, because most of the time they're optional.
Yeah.
They're just optional. You don't have to partake in them. But I do understand why people get upset, especially when a lot of people talking about the Shadow of War one, because it's you're basically paying to do less work.
Yeah, it's
You're
just
paying to
loot
skip
boxes to get gold that you will buy
or
more army
You get
stuff.
orc characters
Yes.
and things like that. You can get them sooner.
And the game is single player, not multiplayer. So you can't even show off these things. You just
actually,
have
I think you can compare armies with other players.
Well, you can't compete against them.
No, but
So look at what I got.
Yeah,
That's
it's
all you got.
basically
Like my car.
Yeah.
in the Lord of the Rings game. If you get a car in Lord of the Rings, I would be impressed. that would impress me.
But
the new Lamborghini 2019
But
in Shadow
Actually,
of
it'd be
War.
like 1786 or something.
but that's why I think we're seeing a lot more of those practices now, and especially when it comes to games like GTA 5, where you can get the shark cards, or with Overwatch, where you get loot boxes. And also in games like Rainbow Six Siege, like to me those games get a pass, because even though they have microtransactions in them, the DLC is free.
Yeah.
You're not paying anything else, and everything you're paying for is optional.
Yes.
It doesn't affect the game.
Yeah.
The Shadow of War one, I completely understand why people are getting upset about, because you're basically paying it. You don't get much more, I guess, pay to win than that, but it's a single player game.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's why to me it doesn't, like, I understand why they're doing it, because they're trying to make as much money as possible, because they're not.
Yeah, and the thing is that's where all these companies are going to have to go down. I mean, Monolith is probably not the group that decided this.
Oh no,
I'm
sure it's Warner Brothers.
Yeah,
it's got to be
definitely
It's Warner Brothers,
because after Batman,
no,
you
they did
kinda
the
have
same
to
thing with Batman.
Oh, really?
No, I mean the Arkham Knight games. How many skins can you buy? How many?
That's true.
How many little?
But see, that's cosmetic
AR,
stuff. That's
It's
cosmetic.
all cosmetic. Yeah.
This is game altering, though. This is pay to win. This is the actual definition of pay to win.
Yeah.
It's like you're playing this game so you don't
beat
have
it
to play
quicker.
the game
Yeah.
longer. But I don't know.
I see. If it was multiplayer, I would be up in arms with everybody else. But since it's single player, I understand. Like, I understand why people are upset, but I don't understand why people are taking at it so negatively when it's something for a single player game that you don't have to participate in. Like, you're not playing. It's not like you're purchasing an advantage against somebody else. Do you really need? It's potty time right now for the kitty cat.
Great.
Can you hear it?
I heard something. I was like,
right.
what was that?
So for me, since it's single player only, like I'm not personally upset by it, but I get why people are.
Yeah.
And I think the big thing is the only negative I see from it is seen more companies do it. Because all it takes is one person to do it, one person to get away with it, and then it becomes the standard. And that kind of brings me back to what I started saying about Madden. Madden this week, when we recorded this, just launched. So
yeah, it's
yeah,
right now still August.
Yeah,
but
it's still like we still have like a week left of August. Madden just came out this week, and on Tuesday. Normally, that's when new games come out, or on Tuesday.
Yeah. Traditionally in America, that's what it is.
In America, games come out on Tuesdays. Yeah. We need a candle. No,
do I need to get something?
A candle.
Cut.
Right there.
While I'm up, does anyone need anything
no,
to drink?
but it's by the TV. Do you see the candle on the lighter?
I'm good.
Oh, God. Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, by the TV candle too. Yep. I can't breathe.
See?
Oh, God damn it, Bella.
Okay.
Break. I need to move, Quinn.
Oh, okay. Oh, God.
You gotta watch out. He's like all trapped back there. I'm like, oh, this is on camera.
Oh.
I might leave it in.
Go ahead.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back.
We're back after the catastrophe.
Wow.
We're back.
Puns.
Wow.
I see you've been hanging out with Morgana lately.
Yeah,
What?
technically, I guess I have.
All right. My watch is a little off on how much this topic has gone on for. But anyway, I can't even really remember what we were talking
I
about.
think I was talking about Madden.
Okay.
So
we were
look at
talking
that.
about
What's up,
Madden.
Madden came out this week, so it kind of dates this episode of when we recorded this. But Madden came out. Normally, video game releases are on Tuesdays. Okay?
Yes.
This Tuesday, the EA only released the greatest of all time edition, the $80 version of the game.
Yep.
And if you want the regular version, you have to wait till Friday.
Okay.
So if you want to pay it or play it early, you got to fork over 20 extra bucks. And I think that's ridiculous.
Okay.
And I'm afraid that doing this, I feel like they're going to do this with FIFA now. They're probably going to do it with the NHL. They're probably going to, and then I'm also afraid other developers are going to do it. 2K will do it with their NBA series.
Now to jump in,
Yeah.
I have done this before. I have purchased games to play it early. Gears of War was one of those, where if you pre-ordered the game, you got it on Friday, and then it was released to
Right.
and you had to pay for the Ultimate Edition.
Right.
But in that process, you got a whole bunch of stuff.
Right.
If you pre-ordered, for instance, Gears of War, Microsoft is very well known of doing this. They've done that. They're going to do it with Forza 6. But with Gears was if you pre-ordered the Ultimate Edition, you got the PC version and the Xbox version and exclusive skins to, you got Zombie Dom and a couple, like a Nerf shotgun. It looks like a Nerf shotgun. It's like toy shotgun. You got all that, and you got it 4 days early, and that is an online game.
Right.
And you got that on Friday, and then on that Tuesday, the game would be released.
Right.
Like normal.
I think they did that with
They also did it with
Andromeda.
Horizon, Forza Horizon as well.
I feel like did Andromeda do that as well? I know they did.
I think
early
EA did it
access,
too, yeah.
But I think they did that with Andromeda as well because I remember playing it early.
So with that said, are you more angry with EA doing the Madden situation because you're not benefiting from it?
Yeah, you're not benefiting.
So if a company was to say
It's basically
you
saying,
get XYZ if you pre-order the Ultimate Edition of it.
It says that, because it's like their greatest of all time is like their gold edition. It
Yeah.
says it comes with like $50 worth of in-game stuff.
But that's getting it regardless though.
Yeah.
So you're more of angry about you're not getting there's no benefit of doing this.
The only benefit to getting it early is you get that extra $50 of in-game crap.
Yeah.
That you would buy through microtransactions in the game. I think it's for like, what do they call it? The Ultimate Team.
Yeah, Madden
stuff.
Ultimate Team.
Yeah, it's like $50 worth of stuff for that.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like having people like, I think it's just wrong to say, hey, if you want to play this game right now, when the game like really should have been released.
Yeah.
Because they're saying, oh, Madden's out on Tuesday. No, the $80 version of Madden's out on Tuesday. The $60 version of Madden's out on Friday.
Okay.
I've had a couple, people at work, like, where's the $60 version? I'm like, it comes out on Friday. I'm like, well, that's dumb. I'm like, yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah, I mean, I'm more of on the side of more of in this. I don't know. Not. I get where you're coming from because the only reason why I'm a little bit defending it is because I've done it.
Yeah, so have I. I've done it too.
Yeah, I do see where
I don't like. Doesn't mean I.
Yeah,
I still don't like it. I still think it's ridiculous.
Yeah, because like with the Madden edition, with the Greatest of All Time edition, where you're not getting really any benefit, and you can buy the GOAT edition anytime.
Right.
Like you can buy that at any time. It's just now you're getting it early. So
see, for me to have been early, you would have had it available to you not this Tuesday, but the previous Friday.
So you're more of angry about the day situation.
I think it's messed up that because video games other than Nintendo are Tuesday releases.
Yeah.
I think it's ridiculous.
Well, I mean, like Call of Duty
time.
came out
That's
Friday, Titanfall came out on a Friday.
Yeah, I know.
Battlefield 1 came out on a Friday. Yeah, but there's exceptions.
There are some exceptions.
Yeah.
But
I get what you're saying.
I feel like if they wanted to do, your exclusive early release for a game, they should have done that on Friday and then do like release the base game on the traditional game release day.
Okay.
So if it was that way, I probably would have been I still would have thought it was dumb and ridiculous, especially since it's like the physical copy and all that. If it was like a digital and people were doing it digitally, I don't think that bothers me. I think it's very misleading to just your average non-gaming consumer.
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest thing for me.
Yeah, and like going into the topic of like of the games and like of the money situation of where is it worth the game to be in the the $60 range or the $80 range to get $50 worth of content,
$50 of in-game
currency that
stuff.
You would never really need unless you're playing online.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. It's because like for me, games are weirdly priced. Like games when it comes down to The Witcher, it's like that game to me that could be $80 and make sense. But in GTA, $80, that makes sense.
They could get away with that too. Yeah, is the thing. They could totally just decide to do that and get away with it.
But when you go to games like, for example, a game that I like, Overwatch. I don't think Overwatch is worth $60. I think that was $40 at best, which now it is. I think now
it's 50.
It's 50. Okay, 50 because at 49
for the console version, it's 50.
Yeah.
For a physical disc console version, it's 50.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is on the stores on the digital side.
Yeah, but like the to me, I feel like that's a $40 game. I understand there's free updates, there's free everything, but it does one thing. It's only online. There's nothing really to it. Everything else is meta. Yeah. And
no, I completely agree. I completely understand why they did the $40 and the $60 price range for PC. I wish they did the same thing for console.
Because I understand when it comes down to that, where it's like cosmetic wise, that's fine. Overwatch, I feel, did it in a way where they're going to release everything for free all the time for the existence of the game, which the game will probably exist for another like 5 years.
It's probably going to be like
decade. PC players will probably play it for a decade. Console players, I don't know about that.
Yeah, I don't know.
But games like Red Dead Redemption 2 that's coming out, I feel like if that was $80, I'd be totally fine with it. Mm-hmm. There are some indie games that I would even say like, oh wow, this is $20. I spent $20 on this game.
Speaking of indie games, there's a lot of debate going on right now. At the time of this recording, people are now starting to think that indie games should start to cost more.
Now, you were talking about this a little bit more. Can you go a little
So
bit
apparently, I don't remember the names. I don't remember the developers. But they were basically, there are some indie creators out there, with teams, small teams. It has to do with the whole debate right now going on about how We Happy Few is now going AAA.
I mean, yeah.
And how, because they got, their 2K is now publishing. Is it 2K? Yeah, 2K is now.
That's good for them.
It's now going from a $30 indie game to a $60 retail AAA backed by 2K. It's the same thing that people are saying now with Ark Survival. Now that Ark is becoming a AAA game, it's now going from 30 to 60. And even when, what's the game that just came out? It just came out.
Agents of Mayhem.
No.
Um,
You're playing as that Viking girl. Senua something.
a Viking girl.
Yeah, it's this. It just came out. You're playing as this like Viking girl with she has voices. She has like a mental disorder. Voices in her head.
That's Hellblade.
Hellblade.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like Hellblade Senua's Sacrifice.
I don't know,
something
but
like that.
it's from the creators of
Ninja Theory.
Heavenly Sword.
It's the Ninja Theory guys, right?
I don't know. I
don't
know it's the
remember.
creators of Heavenly Sword, and they lost the licensing for it or something like that, or so that's a new development team making Hellblade. Which,
but
it has nothing to do with the last.
But people are bringing that one up because that game is like a $30 game. I think it's a $30 or $40 game, made by an indie developer, but it looks and plays like a AAA game. Okay. Which is good for them.
Have you played We Happy Few? Because that looks and plays like a BioShock game. So
well, no, that's the thing though. Is people were a little upset because it looked like a BioShock game, but in the preview, it was more like a survival resource management type game.
Well, yeah, because it was a demo.
But now since 2K's picked up, they're going more towards a BioShock feel with it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're going back to that. Apparently, this is just rumor. Like this is all somewhat new.
Believe me, like We Happy Few
But,
has changed the theme of what they've been doing, like of what people have played. Because like you could buy it on PC for early access, and that was more of like, oh, collect the pill, take the pill, make sure you're this way, that way.
Well, the thing is,
then in the revamped like console one, it did look like BioShock, and then it was like I guess changed back. Or something
no.
like
In terms of the art style, yeah, but in terms of gameplay, it was not very BioShock-y.
Yeah.
It
didn't
look like it looks like one. Like it looked like that trailer, like the announcement trailer from a few years ago, but it didn't play like it. And that's what people were kind of like scratching their heads about. They had this one expectation for it that I think everybody had. We're like, oh sweet, this is gonna be the next BioShock type game, but it wasn't. It was more like a Dying Light with like a BioShock look to it. I think I could be wrong in that analogy. I haven't played Dying Light, but I know what it is.
Yeah, it's open world zombie thing. Anyway,
but that debate though has started where should indie games still be in that $10 to $20 price range when a lot of them aren't really recouping anything after they've published their games. Now there are the exceptions, the Minecrafts, the what else is there? What's that game called? I can't remember what it's called.
Roblox. Warframe.
I
don't know.
It's coming to PlayStation.
Paragon.
No, it's been on PlayStation. It's a little indie game that's supposed to be like a spiritual. I think it's supposed to be a spiritual successor to the Homebound game.
I have no idea.
It's called is it Mother or something?
It's
You know what I'm talking about?
a spiritual successor to Earthbound.
Is it Earthbound that I'm thinking of?
That's
I don't remember
what the name of the game is, but
I don't remember.
a spiritual.
If anything, that game would
what?
come to Nintendo.
I can't. It's bugging me. I can't remember what it's
Okay,
called. It's this little indie game.
Because my thing is like with games that are priced at it, and it's weird because indie games and mobile games get a lot of weird looks. It's kind of like you can look at a video game, and this is like in my mind. For example, you look at a video game that's $60, right? But then you look at a bag of potato chips that's $3.95, and you're like, that's an expensive bag of potato chips. But in actuality, if you look at a $30 game, you're like, oh, that's pretty cheap. That's a pretty good price for the game. And then when you look at a bag of potato chips that's $3.95, when bag of Doritos is $2, you're like, well, that's an expensive bag of chips. I'm gonna buy the $2. Why is that in the mentality? It's kind of like with mobile games. Like when Mario Run came out, it's like $10, right? Mm-hmm. But people looked at it was like, $10. I don't know about that. Or there's another game on there. I think there's even a Final Fantasy on there that's like $60 or something like that. And obviously people are not going to look at it. But why do you if you're a Final Fantasy fan, why do you look at that as like I don't want that. But you look at because I think even I want to say like Super Meat Boy is even on mobile. I know Limbo is, but Limbo is like $5.99 on mobile, and it's like that's a fantastic game. But a lot of people are gonna go look at $5.99. I don't want that. I'll buy Angry Birds for $1, and even then, people are still hesitant to buy $1 game. So I think it's all of the way that the game is thrown out there. If it's a AAA game and you see it's $60, in your mind you're like going, okay, this is $60. In my mind, this should be $60 worth of a game. If an indie developer comes out, so let's say We Happy Few comes out and it still looks like a $30 game. Still looks, feels, ends in like 10 hours. If We Happy Few ended in 10 hours and you spent $60 on that game, then I would say that that's a big flat disappointment.
Oh,
right
when
there.
it comes to playtime for your $1?
Yeah, I think that's
I agree with that.
If We Happy Few comes out and we're like, and they go, nope, it's a 30-hour campaign, 30 to 40-hour campaign, then full on, yeah, they do deserve the $60 price tag. But if they're coming out and they're still gonna make a 10, like Ark Survival, first off, that game is utter trash. I don't understand why the game has this cult following behind it. I've played it. We've played it on the channel. It looks like garbage. And the fact that it has gone from so long and now is getting picked up. There are so many other games that could have gotten picked up from a major AAA like company or even AA company. Like, I don't understand. Well, I guess it would make more sense that AAA company would pick it up. But still, the fact that that Ark got picked, when I saw at our store that we had a sign that said the game is no longer being released on this day. I've never seen that before, and it's probably because they're changing the box art of it to put the new logo on it. And I'm like, this is stupid because that game does not deserve what it needs to do. You're saying that this, like, PUBG to me is like, I think it's like $30.
Like
that is a $30 game because there's no campaign,
right,
but it's what you can do in the game and how much replayability is. Ark Survival is, I guess, like 3D fat Minecraft. Like, I don't understand what the hell you're supposed to do in the game. And there's dinosaurs roaming around. You can crap in the game. The crap really represents the game. Like, I don't understand what is so.
There are like objectives and bosses.
I mean, like,
just like Minecraft, right?
Yeah, exactly, just like Minecraft.
Like, you travel around and you look for these artifacts, and when you collect all the artifacts, you can summon like the world's boss.
Yeah, because you have like that's the one that has like the gem in the wrist thing. Yeah, I just don't get.
I mean,
how a game like that.
It's really not much different than Minecraft in like Minecraft's early stages.
But my thing is Minecraft is still like $25.
Yeah.
So it's like, if you're putting this hunk of garbage in for $60 being picked up by a major publisher, I don't understand that. There are many other indie developers. For example, like when like Super Meat Boy, I think you can pick up for like less than $10 now on PC. That game has so much replayability that you could, and there's so many levels that you're gonna get stuck on eventually. Like, that game to me is at least $25. At least $25. And games that have this replayability in a sense of fun, or I don't know, it just, there are so many other independent developers that, I mean, I guess Super Meat Boy was kind of picked up by Microsoft, but still, like, there's so many other people that deserve that, where there's these other companies that just get picked up for whatever the reason because they want to make their money.
Ark is super popular.
I don't understand that though, and like, I don't know, because is there microtransactions in that game?
No.
Okay, I don't understand.
No, there's one, maybe two DLC packs for it.
Yeah, I don't know, and it's been in like development.
It's been in early access for like 2 years.
I feel like it's longer than that.
No,
like
it's been in development longer than that, but it's been in early access for like 2 years.
Is that just for console? Because I feel like it's longer for PC.
No,
okay, it might have been.
That's just it's been on early access, I think, on the Xbox for about a year now.
And then they have this other Ark game, this like survival thing. Essentially, it's Hunger Games inside Ark, which eventually is like another game. They just copied it from another game.
Is it?
But-
I think another one you're talking. One has like the arena in the
Yeah,
middle.
but that's the actual game.
died out.
There's another. The Arc made a version of that game.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't know, but like, I don't mind seeing indie developers getting. For example, like Cuphead is been in development for a very very long time. Microsoft's publishing it. That game to me, if it came out that it's going to be like $25, to me, I look at that art style and I go, yeah, that's worth $25. Like,
yeah, but
I'm
how much
looking
is
at
it
the
going to be?
I don't know. I think it's like $20 probably
I-
40, maybe 40.
I don't know what they're. Gonna
But my thing is like when you look at all of that's hand drawn,
Yeah.
and if the game looks like that and lasts for 10 hours, and they charge $25 for it, I'd say it's a good time. If it lasts longer than that, then fantastic.
What are you gonna do if it's 60?
If it's $60, I would be so shocked. But like,
Yeah.
I'd
But would you be surprised?
I would be shocked because
you really would.
but if they say like the game is like 25 hours, 25 30 hours, and it's a $60 game, it looks like that, then I'd probably say yeah, that makes sense. But like, I don't know. At minimum, it's probably gonna be 40, and just because it's published by Microsoft, so they're probably gonna slap a $40 price tag on it. But I mean, I don't know. There's also multiplayer in it too, so it adds more replayability.
Oh, there's multiplayer. That's cool.
Yeah, I heard it's actually harder with multiplayer. I heard it's like the last time people played it, it was very difficult.
Yeah.
Because there's so many like things on the screen.
But yeah, because PUBG is going on Microsoft, and people are still thinking it's probably that they might come out on the PlayStation.
Oh yeah,
It's
it's like
rumored.
it's
Even though it's being published for console by Microsoft.
yeah, it's just the same thing that happened with Rise of the Tomb Raider. It's published by Microsoft, but Microsoft's been very lenient on the deciding, or is lenient the right word? On very like allowing of other consoles to play their own games. For example, Minecraft. Like they could have totally gave everyone the middle finger and just said Minecraft's Microsoft exclusive. This is our game. Goodbye.
Yeah, they could have. Do you
But
know,
they
do
didn't
you
do
know how
that.
bad that would have been for them?
If
though?
they would have, maybe, but after a while, if they would have just said PC players and console players are only, they could have even did PC players and console players are only getting, the Xbox players are only getting updates. There's no more updates anymore for the other people, but they keep doing it, and they're even allowing Switch players to play with
which is
Xbox
good.
players. And Rise of the Tomb Raider just stayed on Xbox for a while. Then there was the exclusive
it was
VR
the-
thing with PlayStation that happened.
It was just on it was one piece of DLC.
Yeah, but still, like that
piece of DLC was kind of boring, if I'm gonna be honest.
Oh, you played it?
Yeah, because I have it on. You still get the DLC. It's just not in VR
Oh, okay.
on the Xbox.
Oh, okay.
It's just not in 3D.
Yeah, I don't know. It's
It was just a bunch. It was just a bunch of backstory crap.
Yeah.
It wasn't very. Yeah.
But in 3D.
But yeah, I don't know. It's very interesting, like who gets what and where do price tags get thrown, and I do think that DLC is a little bit cheap. I don't feel like, for example, like if Call of Duty announces, here's our first map pack that comes out, like our game's being released in November, first map pack, here's our 5 maps plus our zombie map, comes out in February. Then I question,
$15.
Why the hell did the map pack not be put in the game? Why was the?
Well,
I
like
mean,
2
you
months-
made it already.
Like 2 months after the game came out.
Yeah. Well, why didn't it? Why was it not in the game? Period. Why was it not put in the game?
Probably because it wasn't done.
But if they're already announced it, like let's say it's done. They're just holding it for
Well, I mean,
for February
a lot
because
of
they
people
want
do
$15.
that. EA
I
does that.
understand.
EA does that did it with Battlefront. They do it with.
I'm just
Battlefield
using Call of
games.
Duty as an example.
I know,
but I'm just saying, like when I see, I don't know. I'm a little bit more. When it comes down to maps and things like that, I question why was this not free and why was it not in the game in the first place?
I think maps nowadays should be free.
And then when it comes to story, I understand why that costs money because now I'm like,
There's more, in my opinion, there's more production in a story mode than just throwing a new map out there, because
Yeah.
you just have to make them. You just have to design a level.
Yes.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you out.
No,
cut
but
it out
that's
or
that's
break
what I
your
mean.
train of thought.
No, I wasn't. I was kind of done. You
Oh,
finished it
okay.
up there.
Because I feel like we're getting to a turning point to where that's going to be the thing now. Because Halo 5, Rainbow Six Siege, Overwatch, those games, like those are
Star Wars
big
Battlefront 2.
Star Wars Battlefront 2. They're all jumping on the maps are free, but the DLC is free, ish. I mean, some of them do have payable DLC, but at least the maps are free, because the maps, I think that's been the biggest fall with, especially with like the Battlefield games, is they make these really good maps, multiplayer maps and multiplayer modes, but it splits the community. And so when a new DLC would drop out, like back when I was playing Battlefield 4, Naval Strike would drop, and I had a lot of fun playing the Naval Strike maps. So like for the first month, I could find easily maps that were playing, or servers that were playing those, and then about a month after that, people just go back to the vanilla maps because that's where the player base is, because not everybody buys it.
Quinn, what do you think? Like, if Persona said we're coming out with like story DLC, do you feel more obligated to buy that DLC as opposed to here's Overwatch if you want the new 4 maps for $15, same price as whatever the story DLC is? Do you feel more obligated to buy the Overwatch one, or do you feel more obligated to buy Persona?
Persona, hands down, easily.
I'm the same way. I would prefer to purchase. I would definitely pick single player story content over multiplayer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, like, how do you feel about this the money situation, the money grubbing? Like, do you feel companies are more of fighting against us than fighting with us, or?
In terms of like all the DLC options, or
Yeah, that, or maybe even like, like for example, the Street Fighter thing, because you're a fighting fan. When you found out that this was years ago, but like for example, when Street Fighter got caught with actually putting the characters in the game, but you had to pay to unlock them.
It was on disc DLC.
Yeah.
That is one of the dumbest things. Because if it's already on the game disc, then why do you have to pay for it? That means it was already made at the time.
Yeah. But see, that was my example with the Call of Duty thing. Like, it doesn't... I mean, we've already kind of nailed that one, but I'm just wondering, like, is it worth those companies doing that?
They did that with Mass Effect 2. They did that
what?
with 2 characters in Mass Effect 2. Zaid was a pre-order bonus, and Kasumi was a deluxe version bonus. Or you could pay for them separately. If you wanted to buy them separately, they were like $5 or $10 a piece. If you didn't buy it, if you didn't pre-order, or if you didn't. Yeah, now you can get, now if you go into the store, I think they're free because it's been, years. But when it came out, Zaid, because you know who Zaid is. Did you not download him?
I don't know. I don't think I did.
You would have had to have gone in and have downloaded him.
I plowed right through those games.
He's in Mass Effect 2. He's the mercenary with like the messed up eye, yellow armor. He doesn't really talk much.
Yes,
he hangs out in like the garbage area.
And I didn't really like him that much. Right?
Yeah, he was a pre-order bonus, and then Kasumi was the Asian girl with the purple on her lip with the black hood.
I don't remember her.
She's one of my favorite characters in the whole series.
Maybe
she's
I
hilarious.
talked
You
to
might
her.
not have downloaded. No, if you didn't download and install her, she is not in the game.
Well, I got the deluxe, like the triple thing, whatever EA was
okay.
selling. So I got all of the DLC,
so then,
but
yes,
I don't.
Then you might not have.
I may have not talked to her.
Okay.
I focused on some main aspects of that game.
well, if you download it, they kind of afford. But back to the point, we're straying away here.
Yeah.
No, they were the same thing. Like, if you wanted those 2 characters, you had to pre-order, and you had to get when the game launched.
Yeah.
You had to pre-order, and you had to buy like some deluxe version to get both of them, or pay like $20 day one to get them. Sorry, continue.
So how are you feeling about this?
Well, I don't mind DLC or paying money. If I like the game, then I'm fine with paying money if they make like maps or additional story or whatever, because I know time and effort went into making that stuff. I don't know how I feel though about like the Shadow of Warfare or whatever game.
Shadow of Warfare. From Call of Duty comes Shadow of Warfare.
The one where it's like a single player game.
Blacker
and
than
you
Black Ops.
buy like loot boxes or whatever.
Yeah.
Because I don't know
Just
what
to
the
speed up the
point of
thing.
that is. Like,
Yeah,
why
so-
not just make the DLC like an ultimate weapon in that case? Then you don't have to like get randomly genned loot boxes.
Well, apparently the stuff you can get in there is like supposed to be really good, and I think
But you
there's
can buy them.
I think there might be a couple like weapons and gear that you can possibly only get.
Only get
Now
in there?
that's
That
just
makes-
that I'm not sure. I'm not 100%. Don't quote me on that.
As
That
far
might
as
be
I've
possible.
read, it's just saving you time for grinding.
right, to get orcs and build your army.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know about that one.
I'm pretty sure like that's all on Warner Brothers. I bet you Monolith that was not in their plan to do that. But you Warner
It doesn't
Brothers was
seem
like,
like something. They
Well,
did.
I bet
like,
Warner
it
Brothers
doesn't even
walked
seem
in-
like in there.
I bet you Warner Brothers, whatever person that goes in and talks to them and be like, you know what this game's missing that everybody's doing now?
Microtransactions.
Microtransactions, loot boxes.
Yeah.
Put them in there.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you've played the League.
Yeah.
You've dabbled in the Overwatch.
Yeah.
So you're not too far away from buying stuff that's cosmetic. But even with League of Legends, I mean, some of those characters you can't even get unless you really do buy Riot points because they're so astronomically like
High.
out of the price range.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
because it's the newer characters that cost a lot, and that means they all the only things that will cost money are skins. Well, kind of to a point. They fix that more because there's like the crafting stuff now, so you can
I
unlock
don't even
skills.
understand League of Legends now.
You can unlock like skins that way if you get enough shards and blah blah blah. So they're making it more and more easier to get certain things without having to spend money. I haven't played it in a while, so I don't know how it works. But you can get like 6,800. I think that's how much it is for the newly released characters.
Yeah, it used to be like 4,500 was like the most, and now it's like 68.
And that it still takes a while, but you can do it. That would probably be like if you played every day for 2 weeks. I think you would have that amount. Maybe.
To get one,
Yeah, to
but
get
there's
one,
like
yeah.
6 characters. now
Rainbow
that are fun.
Six is kind of like that with their characters. Even though they're free, they cost 50,000 in-game Rainbow Six bucks.
Yeah, but like the money isn't that too far out of the area. Like League of Legends is a little bit.
To get
far out.
one character, you have to win like 100 games to get enough.
Oh, okay.
To buy
little-
to buy one character, because
Yeah,
you only
that's
if you win a game, you get like 200. Now these characters cost like 50,000, Rainbow Six bucks. If you win, you get maybe 200. If you lose, you get about 100.
Oof.
So, like I said, you got to win a lot. It takes a lot of play time. That's why with me and Rainbow Six Siege, I just was like, nope, I'm gonna spend the $30 and just have them.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. It's interesting.
But I always appreciated the fact that the maps are free.
Yeah.
So.
Well, yeah, your money's going somewhere else.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't really like this topic was.
It's kind of been a little all over the place.
Yeah,
but that's okay.
It was like two different topics collided together, but I feel like we've always talked about money pricing of games and how we feel is fair to what it is. There are some games that I have no understanding on why it's that expensive. For example, Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered is $40 by itself, and Infinite Warfare is $20.
Oh, it's like 30.
It dropped. Yeah, it's cheaper. I think it's probably 30.
Yeah,
but
it's
it's
30.
cheaper than Modern Warfare Remastered.
Yep.
And I think of a game that came out in like 2006 or 7 or whenever it came out, it doesn't deserve a $40 price tag. I don't care how great the game is now. The game's been out for too freaking long for it to be that freaking price.
I gotta say, even like with the Final Fantasy 12 remaster, that came out at 50, and I thought that was completely reasonable.
But the thing is that game is an online game, right?
No, 12. No.
12.
That's the remaster of 12.
What was the game that you bought? That was okay. So explain that. Is that
There's 11 is online and 14 is online.
so? 14 is the one you just bought.
No, I don't own 14 yet.
You okay?
I'm going
That's what
to.
I'm confused with. Okay,
going
so
to.
12, that's the one.
That's this one.
Was that on? That was on PS3,
PS2.
PS2.
Yeah, it was remastered. from the PS2, and it was $50, and I think it's fair. I still think
But the game is long though,
yeah, the game is
and you
easily
can
100
play it.
hours.
Can you play it different ways?
I mean, you got jobs, right?
I mean, you can play the characters in different job types, but in terms of like the story, or there's like no path. It's not like it's all one ending. Like it's like the story is linear.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's guild stuff, and there's like, in my opinion, yes, that for a remastered copy of that game, I think $60 would have been a little much. I think 50 was just fine. Was just on the spot.
Yeah, I'm just like, my thing with Modern Warfare, and I know there would be the fightingness of saying, well, it comes with like, you know, maps and stuff like that. But like, even then, I think there are some maps that you can't get in the game unless you bought it again, right? Like, I don't know. I don't know very much about it.
Yeah.
I just know that for a game that's that old, for a first-person shooter to be $40, I just don't see it. And the fact that, like, for example, going even back to like Left 4 Dead and Left 4 Dead 2, you can go to GameStop and they're still like $30-$40 games.
Oh, really?
And I just don't understand how,
For like a new copy or used?
you can't buy that
Used?
game new. It's for 360.
I haven't bought a game from GameStop in like 5+ years.
I just have started to. I lost a lot of respect for GameStop just over the years. I've just lost more.
Have you seen what their stores are changing into?
They're ThinkGeek stuff.
They're remodeling their stores. They're now focusing less on games and more about collectibles.
Yeah, because that's. But anyway, that's a different thing.
That's a
I've
whole
noticed that
different
over
thing.
the
That's a
years.
whole different thing.
But I don't know. I just don't.
Do you think
It's a conversation that can be, well, this game does this well and this game does this well, but this game's cheaper and this way, but this is an indie game, but why is this one indie game more expensive? Why are the Switch games more expensive than this thing? Because it has
it's
more
a physical?
but even then it's like, okay, well, that makes sense. If we all based it on how Nintendo was doing it, that is probably what we want. But everyone criticizes Nintendo, going, why is this $60 when on the Switch or on the Wii U it was 40 some odd dollars? Well, it's because this is up-resed, it's the deluxe version of it. It has all this bells and whistles. I think Nintendo, if we all come down to it, is probably the only company that's charging the correct amount for their games.
I won't disagree with that, because I mean, they released their remaster. Let's be honest, when they released their their 3DS versions of like Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask, they were what, $30-$40. Now
because they were licensed by Nintendo.
Yeah, now you can get them for like 20. They're
Yeah,
part
they're
of
all
like the
20 because they're part of the selects.
Yeah.
But now when you look at like when the BioShock collection came out, when Skyrim Remastered came out, those were I believe those were just updates, free updates for the PC players who own them. Whereas if you were a console person, you had to repurchase them they were $60.
Well, I will say, because I was one of those people that has all of them on PC, I got the BioShock HD, BioShock 2 HD, but BioShock Infinite was not HD. So if I wanted that, I'd have to buy that.
Oh, okay.
But yes,
but like Skyrim, perfect example, is free for people who owned it on PC, and you could go the day before the
I have it. I have it on
the
PC.
day people came in, and the day before Skyrim Remastered came out, they came and bought Skyrim Ultimate Edition with all the DLC for $20. And
I bought mine for $5.
And then the next day
at a store.
Yeah, and then the next day they got the remastered $60 version for free.
Yeah.
Whereas, I spent more money on Skyrim, paid the $60 for the Xbox One remastered version, which in my opinion was worth it. Playing that game with mods, not the same kind of mods as PC, but just playing it differently for me is worth it.
So to answer the question, I guess if we were to put
we've
it into
really
a question,
strayed, but
it was
whatever.
It was more of, it's hard to answer a yes or no on, do we feel games are priced correctly or not? I feel, for myself, I'll do a wrap up for myself.
Yeah.
Like I said, I think Nintendo has probably the best way of doing it. Breath of the Wild being 60, Mario Kart 8 being 60, Cave Story being 30, like those type of things makes sense to me. Like this is an indie game. It's still on physical copy. It's not as long as obviously Mario Kart has replayability plus all this DLC crap plus exclusive stuff, and then as well as Breath of the Wild is, a $60 game plus I think the DLCs are only like $20.
$20 for all of it.
And they're really chunky, and there's only 2. Whoa. So I think, in my opinion, I think Nintendo has the right price point stuff. Is Microsoft and PlayStation going to follow that? Probably not. PC, definitely not. PC's just a big old mess anyway, just because you can get games that are usually $60 in like Humble Bundle for like 30. So it's weird how pricing of PC games are. I think some games deserve it, some games don't. Indie games that want to be licensed to bump their score, bump their price up to 60. I feel like you got to earn that.
Well, no,
I don't think Arc does.
I don't think the game. I think the games that have jumped on.
Well, hold on.
AAA, okay.
We'll get to yours in a second. But like, I think We Happy Few can get to a $60 value. It really can. Like the idea around that sounds awesome. Arc, don't think so. I think that game is done. It does not deserve $60 for it. I think it's $40 at best. Mm-hmm. And those are just examples of those two types of games. Story games, I feel, deserve more of a price tag. Multiplayer games, not so much. I thought when Call of Duty did the whole like $60 game or $50 game for Black Ops 3 on the past gen consoles, that they were like, oh yeah, but it's just multiplayer. I think that was a giant middle finger to that community to push everyone to the modern day consoles. But all in all, I can't really answer, in my opinion, which one's the best way to do this. There's no yes or no. We'll get to yours last just because it was your topic, so you'll wrap it up.
Yeah.
Quinn, how do you feel wrap up this topic?
Video game prices suck.
I want my games for free.
You just want your games for free.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Sponsor us, and then we'll get our stuff for free.
I feel like I don't know how to wrap this up.
Just do what I did.
Yeah, you got 2.5 minutes. See how you can.
Prices suck.
I feel like we're kind of lucky that the AAA games are still 60.
Yeah.
I do understand. I do think games that have obviously less content on them shouldn't have a $60 price tag. I don't think Overwatch should have been a $60 price tag for console. I think they should have had the $40 option.
They did come with the Widowmaker skin, if you did get it.
Widowmaker skin is not worth 60.
Oh wait, that was pre-order
bucks.
still. I
It's
keep
so
forgetting
beautiful.
that. I mean, it's weird. She has like dreads, but
Hey, it's pretty.
I don't think that's a $20 skin.
you can earn it. Well, that was a pre-order bonus. I forget to.
Yeah, it was like a first run sort of thing.
Yeah. But you can't get it any other way.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like some indie games do deserve a little bit more money, especially if they want to continue doing what they do. And, they got to make a living. I feel like, games, sitting, at around a $15 price tag. I understand why that's tough.
Yeah.
When you're making a game that you spend years making and, and it's an indie game. Indie game kind of has that stigma where if people feel it's more niche, because I can tell you, if an indie game doesn't produce a physical disc, I can't tell you how many people I meet at work that refuse to buy games digitally.
Oh, I know a lot of
I'm
people
like,
that don't buy indie games because they're classified as indie games.
Yeah.
Like Rocket League's an indie game.
Yeah.
And I mean, were you gonna give up on that? It's
Yeah.
one of the most popular games ever.
And so
Minecraft was an indie game.
Yeah.
It's like,
and I think the whole stigma of being an indie game is kind of, it sucks.
yeah,
But
getting thrown in the category.
But yeah, it's just another title that's going to cause people to just overlook it. Yeah. And the thing is that there's so many indie games. Oh, that game I was talking about, by the way, earlier is Undertale.
Oh, okay.
That's what I was thinking of. Undertale.
Well, I don't know what the reference.
I don't remember either. I don't remember what we were talking about earlier, but
Ingrown Toad.
that game I was trying to come up with like 10 minutes ago. It was Undertale.
Okay.
A lot of people love that game.
A lot of people do love that
It's
game.
coming to PlayStation.
Oh.
It wasn't already?
I thought it was on Vita.
No, I think it's there. I think it's there now. I think
Is
it's
it?
there.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Was it only on PC?
Yeah.
Wow.
But
Yes.
I think I don't know.
I hope that's not the actual time. No, I mean like of how long we've recorded this section.
Yeah.
This is definitely longer than this one.
Then I thought this is going a lot longer than I thought it would too. But I do think that paying for single player content is better than multiplayer. I think multiplayer maps, at least nowadays, I think the norm should be the map should be free because then you're not splitting up your player base.
Yeah.
Maps and game modes. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's just. I just hope it gets. I don't know. I don't want to say I hope it gets better, but I hope something happens where it gets better for us.
Yeah.
We should just.
I know they need to make their money.
No more indie development. We can't do it.
That way, then we'll never have to hear about indie this, indie that.
Yeah,
again.
exactly.
Everything will just become a game.
Single A. They're all single A.
Because the thing with We Happy Few going AAA is they have a plan that they've shown that they're gonna add meat to this game. Like they're adding story and all this kind of stuff. You know,
beefy.
It's not
hot
like
meat.
Ark, where let's be honest, Ark is gonna probably be released not much different.
No,
than
it's
what
not
it
gonna
is right
It's
now.
adult Minecraft. Don't make fun of it.
You can poop in the game. I did it in
What
the
other game can you
Ark.
poop in?
Exactly. Name another game you can poop in.
I can name games that you can pee in, but how
Yeah.
many games can you poop in?
You probably poop in Duke Nukem.
Maybe.
No,
Can
you
you
can-
fling it at people though?
I think you could draw with poop in Duke Nukem
course you
Forever.
Okay, well we'll remove Duke Nukem, and then what other game can you do that? Huh?
I don't know. But if you watch the Ark video, there is a part where I just like I'm laughing so much because Christian is like actually playing the game, and then all of a sudden you hear me go, and then it goes, and I just crack up laughing, and he's like, "Ew!" And he goes, "Don't worry, I picked it up." I'm like, "Oh, thank you." I did, and so you can have in your inventory this ball of crap.
Yeah, can you
use
like
it to
start
fertilize
fires?
your plant?
Can you start fires
I
with it
don't know.
and throw it at other people?
I'm sure you could throw it at other people. I did.
Is it
put-
multiplayer? Is it multiplayer?
Yeah, I played
Okay,
it with
yeah,
him.
I want to throw it at people.
He named himself Kerchak in the game. That's a Tarzan reference. I don't know if you got that. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I hope that was it.
No, that's it.
Okay.
We're good.
It's it.
If that was the end of that episode, ladies and gentlemen, this was Bitcade.
Episode 5.
were we doing a thing?
Bitcade!
Okay, we'll play it on here. 3.
What are we
This
doing?
was
Bitcade!
ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. If you want to watch more stuff, make sure you definitely hit the subscribe button. Each and every week, a video for Bitcade gets posted, as well as a few little bits of gameplays get posted throughout that week as well. Make sure you definitely check us out on Twitch. We are Primal_Target. You can now officially subscribe to us over there, as well as follow if you just want to join the PT Nation. But if you want to kick back stuff to us to allow us to buy better stuff, for example, a camera, because right now we're still on my iPhone. But anyway, please make sure you definitely subscribe over here as well. Go follow us on Twitter, Primal_Target. We're on Facebook, facebook.com/Primal Target. My name is Ryan Amore. This was
Quinn.
That was
David.
And we are